I got to talk to you about something. Okay, hold on 1 minute. Is the IRS going to start taxing money that you earn at a yard sale? Money that you collect through Cash App and Venmo and Zelle and PayPal? Is it Zelle or is it Zelly? I assume it's a silent E on the end, but I honestly have no idea. If you know, tell me how it is, but my friends and I all say Zelle. When I first heard this, I was so angry. I'm like, really, IRS? Have you not taxed the life out of us enough? Between what has happened in the world in the past couple of years and inflation, are you just trying to suck every red cent out of our bank accounts? So when I first heard this, I was livid. In fact, I came across this video right here from the Economic Ninja, who is going into great detail about it. But let's talk about it so that you know exactly how this will affect you if you're thinking about moving and having a yard sale this year. I came across this YouTube video by the Economic Ninja called Beware of New IRS Hidden Tax Reporting that starts January 1st, 2022. And here is what he said in this video. Let's watch.
Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. Got a story for you today and I want to talk about it. So I got my notes. We're going to talk about a new tax.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate that he wrote his notes on the back of a pizza box from Costco? I love this guy.
That's coming in January, and it's not exactly a new tax. It's a new way that the government and the IRS are going to keep tabs on what you're doing in your normal life, even down to your garage sales. And I'll explain that in a second.
So even just that part immediately got my hackles up, right? Do we really want the IRS to be insinuating itself into our lives any more than they already do? So by that point, I was spoiling for a fight. I was PO'd.
So as of January 1st, a new law is being put into place that 1099K reporting will be implemented. It'll be mandatory for payment platforms like Vimeo, Cash App, PayPal, and
so I got to give him one strike right there because he said Vimeo, and Venmo is the digital money receiving and sending platform. Vimeo is a video management platform. They are two totally different companies that do totally different things. Like if you're going to release this information, you kind of have to know what you're talking about.
And Zelle. Now, what it means is that there will be 1099s issued for anyone who receives $600 or more in transactions, and this is for either tagged as goods and services, all right, throughout the entire year. Now,
okay, so that's a problem because that doesn't mean a single transaction for $600. That means over the course of a 12-month period, will you collect more than $600? Probably, if you use these applications regularly. I pay people with Venmo all the time. I pay people with Cash App all the time. I don't really use checks anymore. So to do $600 over a 12-month period is pretty darn simple.
Currently, to give you an idea how different this is, so a lot of people go, yeah, isn't that normal? Well, it's not normal for these payment apps, okay? But this is for anybody selling things or receiving payment on payment platforms like PayPal, Zelle, blah, blah, blah. And that's for $600 throughout the year, total. Now, currently, to give you an idea how big of a deal this is or how big of a change, the current rule is that payment platforms do not have to issue a 1099K unless at least $20,000 of transactions have happened throughout the year. And in that $20,000, you would have had to exceed 200 transactions or more on that account.
So this was very troubling to me. And I immediately, being the consummate reporter and researcher that I am not, I went to Google to do a little bit of searching to find out if this was actually true. It really is not. So let's let him continue. And then I'm going to show you why this is not really accurate.
So to give you an idea how big of a change, how radical of a change this is, it's massive. And this is why I'm totally ticked off. Let's get rid of the notes. This is going to affect everybody. Right now, there's so many people out there just trying to make ends meet. Inflation is getting worse. People are trying to get better, to step up, right? Like I did so many years ago through all my different little side hustles. And then take that cash, build up that cash position, and then go out and invest it. This is going to affect, and I see it all the time, even with garage sales. I'll be at a garage sale and someone goes, hey, do you take Zelle or do you take Vimeo? And a lot of times the people like that are
Venmo. It's Venmo. Say it with me. Venmo.
that are doing the garage sale. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I know. Well, how much do you want for that? No, it's $100 or $300. Cool, here you go. Bam, and it's done. I've seen it so many times before. Now think about this. That person selling items at a garage sale is now going to be issued a 1099-K.
So this was the part when I was like, are you kidding me? No, we cannot allow this to continue. And I went to do my research. Well, and I found website after website after website debunking this myth. Phew. So the first one that I came to was CNET. Now, according to all of these websites, they all pretty much said the same thing, but here is the one that I'm going to show you from CNET. If you're self-employed or have a side hustle and get paid through digital apps like PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, any earnings over $600 will now be reported to the IRS. So these are for business transactions. The guy that mows my lawn prefers to be paid through Venmo. So every 2 weeks, he comes and mows my lawn and blows off all the leaves. He sends me an invoice through Venmo. I pay him through Venmo. It's easy. He gets the money right away. He has to pay the fee, but he doesn't necessarily have to pay a bookkeeper. You know, why he chooses Venmo, I don't know, but that's what he chooses. He is a business. He is receiving business income. He should pay taxes on that, right? This is how he earns his money. What if I pay my hairdresser? I go in and I get my hair done and I pay her with Venmo. Should she have to pay taxes on that? Of course, because she is self-employed and these are business revenue dollars coming in. You should have to pay taxes on that. Now, I don't want to pay any more taxes than I have to, but hopefully I don't have to explain to you that when you earn money, you have to pay taxes to the IRS in the United States because that's just how it works. And this is also not a new law. This is simply a new reporting law. You always were supposed to claim your business income and pay taxes on it. But now the IRS is forcing these digital payment platforms to report it to the IRS. So if you have previously been using these platforms to collect business revenue and you were not reporting it to the IRS, shame upon you. But starting January of 2022, you are going to be forced to report it, whether you want to or not, because PayPal, Venmo, and Zelle are going to have to send that data to the IRS, who will then generate a 1099-K and send that to you January of 2023. But what about my garage sale money, you say? That does not count. So as we scroll down, they have some fact and fiction sections. And as I researched on other websites, they all said the same thing. This is not a new tax. This is simply reporting it differently so that people who are trying to hide their money will no longer be able to do so. The IRS is not counting money you send your friends and family. So if you go out to dinner and you say, I'll pick up the tab and you guys all give me your money through Venmo because nobody ever has cash anymore, it seems, then that money is not going to be taxed. They are giving you their fair share of the dinner tab. You are not collecting business revenue. You are not going to have to be taxed on that. Now, could that change in the future? I wouldn't put it past them. But as of the time of this recording, January 2022, that is not the case. And just to show you that it was only CNET that was saying this, I also went to various websites, big, giant media conglomerations, little local news outlets. And this one was on TurboTax, where they said these are P2P platforms for business. So these were designed to be payment collection platforms for businesses. And now we just need to report that income to the IRS come tax time in the way that you should. Because honestly, who wants to go to jail for tax evasion? I don't want to be the next Leona Helmsley. Do you remember Leona Helmsley? She was the queen of mean, the one who went to jail for tax evasion. Wasn't it something like A Million Shoes? No, that was Imelda Marcos. Honestly, I get these nasty ladies all mixed up. Last but not least, I went to the Venmo website themselves where they were telling us more about this. Now, this does not start until January 2023 for the 2022 tax season. Disclaimer, I am not an attorney, I am not an accountant, I am not a CPA, I am not giving you financial advice, I am not giving you tax advice, I am not giving you legal advice. Consult your attorney, consult your CPA, consult your tax accountant if you need more details, or if you just really need to CYA. But some of these laws are still in effect right now for the 2021 tax year. And Venmo says they will issue you a Form 1099-K to business profile owners who have passed the threshold for their state of residence for the amount of volume that they had to do. For most states, it's $20,000 a year in gross payment volume and at least 200 payments of goods and services over the course of that 12-month period. Lucky for you, if you live in Illinois, the threshold's only $1,000 because they watch your tax revenue real bad in Illinois. By the way, my sister Cheryl, who lives in Chicago, like, aren't you tired of this yet? Come on down to Georgia. The weather is fun. As a full-time real estate agent and the owner of the GCH Team, I see people all the time that relocate to the Georgia area and South Carolina from other states, and they pack up all of their stuff. They pay thousands and thousands of dollars to a moving company. They get here, they unpack it and say, oh, this doesn't really fit in my house. And then they have a yard sale. And they just paid somebody a lot of money to move all of this stuff. Do yourself a favor. Have a yard sale before you move. In fact, when you put your house on the market, figure out what you're not taking with you. Declutter. Get rid of half of the stuff that you don't use that's filling up your closet and making your home look smaller because you got way too much stuff. You need to have a de-stash. You need to get rid of half of this stuff. Sell it, have a yard sale, donate it, throw it in the dump. I don't care what you do with it. Just get it out of your house so that your house looks better when you sell it. And you will pay far less money to the moving company because they're not having to pack up all of this stuff that ultimately you're going to get rid of when you move anyway. Oh my gosh, I love that I have a Keurig machine that makes cappuccinos. Like, if I could just mainline this directly into my veins, you know that I would.
But warning people and telling people, like, literally, if people sell $600 or more worth of stuff on one of these payment apps in January before they ever hear about this law, guess what's coming to them in 2023? That's right, a 1099-K, and they got to claim it as income.
And so I'm afraid we have debunked this video. Economic Ninja, you really got my blood boiling, and I was totally on your side, and I wanted to spread this news and let everybody know, but I'm afraid it's just not accurate. It is not going to affect people who are not using these digital platforms as a way of collecting business revenue. So if you were worried that you were going to be taxed on money that you collect from a yard sale, I'm afraid we have debunked this myth right here. If you are planning an interstate move in 2022 and you're trying to save a few bucks on your moving expenses, please watch this video next, because I made the worst mistake in history, and oh my gosh, do I regret it. Learn from my mistakes.